Well, Cavs fans, it was a wild one at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse tonight on what was Travis and Jason Kelsey bobblehead night. A lot of people in attendance. The crowd was raucous throughout the evening for the fact that they were here sitting courtside and soaking it all in. So it got off to just an exciting start because of their presence. But then the finish of this game, one of the wildest you'll ever see. Cavaliers win it 105-104, and just what a remarkable. I don't even know where to start. I truly do not know where to start because this game coming in, it had a very lethargic feel to it, aside from the buzz, as I mentioned, of Travis and Jason Kelsey being in the building. It just, without Donovan Mitchell, without Max Strus, it just didn't feel like a game the Cavs had much of a chance in from the jump, playing against the Boston Celtics team that was on an 11-game win streak and is obviously sitting atop the Eastern Conference and the NBA. You didn't feel good about their chances coming into it, and it kind of played out that way for much of the first quarter, or the first half rather. The offense was very sluggish. It just did not look like the Cavaliers' offense that we'd seen before the All Star break, and by any stretch of the imagination. Some of that, I'm sure, without having Donovan Mitchell on the floor. I know their offensive rating has dropped without him about 5 points. So there's some struggles there, and it showed very early on. Then things got worse because in the third quarter you lose Evan Mobley, who was off to had a horrendous game up until that point. He was only 2 of 8 from the floor before he gets the ankle injury and exits that game about midway through that third quarter of play. But then you lose him. So, okay, another blow, another starter now not out there on the floor with you. And it just looks like it was just going to be a marching orders um, to the end of this thing as the fourth quarter got going. They were down about 16. It quickly ballooned to 22. Ironically, on the same night that Travis and Jason Kelsey are in the building, they trailed by 22 points, and they ultimately ended up mounting a 22-point comeback because of one player in particular, Dean Wade, who led one of the most remarkable comeback efforts that you will ever see in this building as Cavaliers fans in the history of this franchise. And I can say that because it was the best, the largest fourth quarter comeback in franchise history for this organization. Just unbelievable. 22 points to overcome it all in the fourth quarter. Dean Wade, from about the 8:52 mark, he hit his first of 5 threes in the quarter. He scored 23 total points in the night. 20 of those came in the fourth quarter alone. He actually outscored the entire Boston Celtics team, who only had 17 in the fourth quarter. Just a remarkable feat, a remarkable ending to this game. The guy was red hot. He gave some good perspective after the game, just kind of on what it's like to be in that mode. And he talked about the basket sort of looking like an ocean, like you just can't miss. And he was absolutely on fire. He brought the house down, brought the entire building to their feet, and it's just crazy to think how quickly it all shifted for this Cavaliers team in about a 9 minute span. Because again, it just felt like they were marching towards their demise, another loss to a good team, and we were going to be having those same conversations that I know many of you are having about who this team really is and how far they really can go in the postseason. And then all of a sudden, at the drop of a hat, Dean Wade just comes out of nowhere and leads this remarkable fourth quarter comeback effort. I mean, people were filtering out of the building, and then it turns around and ends the way that it did with the 105-104 victory, with Dean Wade also putting the exclamation point on the game with the final game winning bucket. It was a dunk with about 20 seconds left in the game. There was sort of the play on the other end where Jason Tatum tried to sort of flop as if he got fouled by Darius Garland. He didn't, and it was reviewed and overturned, and the Cavs just end up winning it on a midcourt tip. So, I mean, so many different storylines from this one, but they all revolve, obviously, starting first and foremost with Dean Wade and his effort tonight. Just remarkable. Again, 23 points in the night, but 20 of those coming in the fourth quarter. He was truly the spark for this entire Cavaliers team. One of those contagious efforts where once he started really feeling it and he started hitting shots, other guys kind of came through and stepped up. George Niang, he hit 3 3-pointers tonight, one of them in the fourth quarter. He actually hit the three that tied the game at 99 with Boston before they went on to win. So this win, and this is the interesting part of this next, like, what's next I think is the question that kind of needs answering here for the Cavaliers. And I don't. It's always hard to put a tangible quality on what a win like this can mean for a team. Uh, Jared Allen was asked after the game, and he had a double double tonight. Solid performance from him. 21 points, 12 rebounds. He was kind of asked, "Is this a signature win?" He said yes. JB Bickerstaff was asked the same question. He downplayed it and said, "I don't really subscribe to the signature win thing." Dean Wade kind of gave some endorsement of the idea that it was a signature win and a win that could mean something for them moving forward. But it only means something if they do something with it. So they have a quick turnaround. They play in Atlanta tomorrow. Probably unlikely, given some of the just the optics of the ankle injury that Evan Mobley has. He was seen on crutches, leaving leaving the locker room, leaving the arena, and I was told his ankle looked pretty swollen. I didn't get a chance to go in there myself, but just from people who saw it, his ankle was pretty swollen as well. So not a good sign that he's going to play tomorrow. But this certainly feels like a win, even without Donovan Mitchell on the floor, as we know he's going to be out at least the next 3 games with that knee injury. Got the injection, and we'll see when he's able to sort of return here and after he's reevaluated. But in the grand scheme of things, like this could be a win that that almost we could get to a point. What I'm trying to say is we could get to a point later in the season where we're looking back, and if this sparks some great run from this team in March leading into the playoffs, we could end up treating this one as truly a turning point in the season. I think that's kind of what it felt like tonight. You feel down and out in a game against the number one team in the Eastern Conference. They had every reason to roll over and just you know go home with their tail between their legs, get on the plane and fly to Atlanta for tomorrow's game, and they didn't. They kept fighting. Dean Wade provided a hell of a spark and was the story coming out of this one. And it was a remarkable thing to watch, obviously for me here at the arena, but also for many of you, the fans at home who were taking this all in. Truly, truly incredible game. One for the ages here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And now, like I said, it's about what they can do with it moving forward. Is it going to matter? Is it going to mean something for this Cavaliers team that's going to almost allow them to string together some wins here, even without Donovan Mitchell, and establish some momentum in the way that you want this time of year going in to the playoffs? I mentioned a couple guys in their statistics. Darius Garland had a double double as well, 16 points, 11 assists. I mentioned Mobley's stat line. He had just 4 points. He was 2 of 8 from the floor tonight. Sam Merrill did get the starts. He was in the starting lineup. It took him until the second quarter to even get his first shot off. I think he was just he made 2 shots on the night. But the story obviously was Dean Wade on the Celtics side, 26 and 13 for Jason Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis, who was a tough nut to crack throughout the night. He made some just crazy, ridiculous shots with tough defense in his face tonight, and he finished with 24 and 9 rebounds as well. So a Celtics team that has seemed largely unbeatable this year. Well, the Cavs accomplished that feat. They pulled it off 105-104 on the Kelsey brothers bobblehead night. It was a great way to sort of cap off the evening and the special event that it was to have the two Cleveland Heights grads in town for this one, to take it all in courtside. Just a phenomenal evening all around and a celebratory one. By the way, I mentioned the irony of the 22-point deficit that the Cavaliers overcame in the fourth quarter. Also ironic is that Dean Wade, born and raised in Kansas, so the neighboring state there, Kansas City, been a Chiefs fan his whole life. He got a chance to celebrate behind me over on the sideline with Travis Kelsey, one of his favorite players from his favorite team, who just less than a month ago was winning the Super Bowl, that he was obviously cheering, supporting, and celebrating as a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs. So kind of funny how it all came full circle for him. But what a memorable and historic performance for Dean Wade, a career high, largest fourth quarter comeback this season in the NBA, ties the largest comeback overall for any team this season. And as I also mentioned, the largest fourth quarter comeback in Cavaliers franchise history. We may not see another one like it in the history of the franchise. It's taken this long to get this one. A truly special, special night here in downtown Cleveland at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. As always, I will encourage you guys to head over to CavsInsider.com. We've got all kinds of content going up over there. There was a tribute video played for Jason Kelsey tonight. We got that up there. We got our game recap that's gone up. Some other little tidbits from this game, and we'll have plenty of more up popping up tomorrow morning as we continue to just kind of process what it is that we witnessed at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse tonight, along with you. So be sure to check all that out at CavsInsider.com. And as always, keep watching content like this on the Cavs Insider YouTube page.